Hey, it's MK, and I am here for a Stitches and Stencils layout for you guys. I am also playing along with Ginger's Corner Scraps to Embellishment Hop that she is doing all year long, and I'm playing with my Kit Conspiracy kit for this layout. So I have, I don't know, what is 4 times 3, 12? I have 12 layouts, and the prompt for Ginger's scraps, I apologize, you guys, I'm tripping all over myself. The prompt for her hop today is Victory Garden or just gardening. And this collection, since it's called Midnight Garden, I thought would be perfect. Now, I don't know exactly what a Victory Garden is, but I'm treating this more like a memorial garden because we are out in the sticks. We are out saying goodbye to our grandfather. We are out doing that sort of thing. And so I thought, okay, well, I will make the embellishments and then I will add them to this page. So these are all of the pieces of embellishments that I had picked out, and then I will pull out all of the scraps that I have been creating with, or that I have created using this collection. So I don't have them pulled out just yet because I didn't want it to become a big old huge thing of like just sharing with you guys a bunch of scraps. I mean, seriously, it's just terrible. I also pulled out 2 stencils today to use with this collection. So I'm going to double up my stencils. And then, of course, I pulled out my other piece of green paper for this particular collection. I am not really sure exactly yet how I'm going to use it. But then I also pulled out this beautiful piece of paper, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this one right off the bat. So this is going to be gorgeous. And then all of it is going to be on a stark white background. Even though this has a cream effect to it, I really want to do white. I pulled out some scraps of white cardstock to map my photos, even though you won't be able to tell because it's going to be mounted on white. I did that just in case I wanted to pop some of them up on foam. And in the end, I decided not to do that. I'm going to add the foam within my embellishments. So here I'm going through all of my leftover embellishments to pull out all the scraps that I can work with for Ginger's hop. That is the plan, is to use up the scraps. Now, the thing about Ginger's hop is that she does over on her Facebook group is she does a hop every 4 days, or a swap, I think is what it's called, every 4 days. And so the swap, okay, let me see if I can get this right because it's so complicated in my brain, right? It is just not something I can grasp the concept of, as she's told it to me a million times, but it is more explained. She's got a video explaining it. She's got it all explained in her Facebook group. I mean, she's got it totally down to a science. But you sign up for a hop like on a Sunday, and then you have 4 days to create it and get it mailed out. So 4 days to make and mail, and then you receive yours the following week, I'm assuming, because everybody's should be mailed out by, say, Friday, right? So then on Saturday, we are doing the reveal, basically, of what that week's prompt was. And so for this week, it's the Victory Garden. So if you go and watch all the channels and you go check out her Facebook group and all that good stuff, you will see that everybody's doing like a gardening type of theme for her hop. And then, of course, we are doing embellishments, showing how some of the embellishments can be put together, or how some of the people that are in the swaps are putting their embellishments together, which I think is pretty cool too. I'm not part of the swaps. I just play along to show how I do my embellishments, and then I really like to show how those embellishments incorporate into a layout. That's my favorite thing to do. Plus, I like making embellishments. But first, I am going to do a part of my Stitches and Stencils portion of this video. So today today is when Sandy and Janet and myself get together and we play with our stencils and we do some stitching, whether it's hand stitching, machine stitching, faux stitching, any kind of stitching on a layout. You can do as much as you want. You can do as little as you want, as long as there's some sort of stitching on your layout mixed with stencils, right? Because stencils is a Sandy's thing, stitches is a Janet thing, and I got stuck in the middle. I think they just wanted to challenge me is what it was, but that's okay. I feel challenged, right? So anyways, what I wanted to do with this layout, which I am absolutely thrilled with, is I knew I was going to rip out these embellishments that were pre-printed on this beautiful cardstock. I knew it from the moment I saw that piece of paper that that's what was going to happen. And so I did. Well, when I put it on the stark white paper, I thought, oh, it's missing something. So I decided to use the green, which I thought maybe I was going to use as photo mats, but changed my marbles and ended up using white right off the bat. So I brought in the green so that way I could get that distance between cream and stark white, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put those, and I'm going to spread them across 2-page layout rather than just spread them across a 1-page layout and put them right back where the manufacturer did. I'm going to actually spread them across a 2-page layout and then put my photos in between them. I just knew I had way more photos than what a 1-page did. In fact, I had many, many more of these photos. I took a photo of every single person throwing their letter to Grandpa into the river. However, it doesn't even look like they're doing anything. Like there was a lot of, I could see their arm up in the air or their legs sticking out, supporting them, but nothing happening. So I went through all the photos and picked out which ones I could see the envelope in, even though they are microscopic photos. They're teeny tiny little photos. I am a-okay with that. I still get the concept of what was going on. All right, so here I am with the embellishment portion of this whole crafty video. And again, the same thing that I love to do all the time is divide and conquer. I've spread out all of my red strips of scraps. I sort out all my green ones, my plaid ones, my blue ones, yada, yada, yada. And then that determines how many embellishments I'll actually be making. So this one here, I'm going to be making 5. And then I take all of my I'm making embellishments with embellishments, right? And I'm taking all those embellishments and putting them into piles as well, so I can make embellishments with my embellishments. Oh my goodness. So that is what I end up doing, is again dividing and conquering based off of color. What embellishment is missing this? What embellishment is missing this? So on and so forth. And sometimes as I'm building, I feel like things are missing. And so that's when I go digging through the other embellishments. What is missing here? What is missing there? Like this one here, I felt like the plaid was missing for one. And then of course the, that's not a butterfly. What is that? I felt like the lighter mauve was missing. And so I found that in a banner piece. And then of course I added the butterfly because I do like the flying things all on my layout. Now, as soon as I am done making all of these embellishments, I will show you guys nice and close up what they all look like and how they all came together. But again, because I'm working outside, all my layouts are outside, I go through the tedious task of scuffing up all the edges, of roughing them all up and doing that. Well, because of some of the pieces being so small, I have to do it by hand. I don't like the scissor one. It has that chalkboard on the nail thing going on that just sends shivers up my spine. I can't do it. So I end up just using my fingers and pinching the pieces together on both sides because it is so skinny. And then I just go down. And of course, once I do get adhesive on the piece, scrunching it together actually does a little bit better as well. So sometimes I wait until I have it adhered down and then scrunch it because the piece is held down by adhesive. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing with that sticker that says beautiful on it as well. And then of course, dream big. which are words that I just thought went really well with my photo subject, right? That's all I thought. So here is another layout or another embellishment, and I almost forgot my my butterfly. I want a butterfly on each one of my embellishments. In fact, I think one embellishment gets 2, which is the title. It ends up being the title piece. So, and I'm doing the same exact thing. I have strips on all of them. This is one of my favorite embellishments with scraps, you guys. It really is taking a whole bunch of strips at random sizes and just mismatching them, changing up the colors every now and then, starting with the largest piece and then putting the smaller piece down, and then rearranging them. So I don't always start with the green on the back. I don't always start with the red on the back or the blue or whatever. I mix and match them as I feel like without looking at any of the other pieces. Like I do not want to get fixated on, okay, what piece did I do next? I don't want to do that because then it doesn't go by fast and it doesn't go by smoothly either. I feel like it's forced when I sit there and I look at all my other embellishments and try to make it work that way. So for the tag, I cut the top of the tag off. It just was too big for one. And then of course I wanted to make the blue and the plaid larger in between. So my label did not look like it was covering up all that blue and plaid because then you wouldn't see them at all. So I had to widen those out just a little bit and I ripped my green, but you can't even tell. And then I added the top of the tag behind it all. So then that way it looks like you have like a little journaling spot and then a little tag, topper at least, hanging out. And of course I had to add my favorite twine in the whole wide world to the back. I will add a link to that, by the way, to Stampin' Up. Now that I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I will go ahead and add a link to that because I don't know why I haven't ever thought to do that before. I really have no clue why I never thought to add that string on there, but it is my favorite string, you guys. So please don't go and sell them all out of the string because I need at least 5 rolls at a time. I'm just kidding. I really am. So here I am on my 4th embellishment. And same thing, I took the labels that were on the cut apart card that had the 3 labels. So I was able to come out with 3 labels per card. And then I got interrupted and accidentally forgot to turn the camera back on. So you didn't get to see me put the 4th embellishment together. I apologize. And I think I missed out half of this title piece as well. So I do apologize, you guys. It's just sometimes I get caught by my kids and I turn it off so that way I don't have this big old huge long piece that I have to cut out of my video. And then I just get back into creating and I forget to turn it back on. So that is my bad. I do apologize. But here are all of the wonderful pieces made with scraps, put together, and I'm going to use every single one of them on my 2-page layout. I feel like they're a great number. 5 is a great number. I always like to make embellishments in odd numbers for myself. If I'm doing a big, huge bulk, it doesn't matter. I don't even keep count of how many I'm making. I just make sure that I have enough supplies to go through that many pieces. But when I'm doing an embellishment set for myself, I always try to keep it at 3 or 5 or 7, somewhere in there. And especially depending on if I'm doing a 2-page or a 3-page, or a 3-page. No, or a 1-page. 1-page is usually the 3 embellishments. And then of course, a double page, a 2-page is either 5 or 7, depending on the size of embellishments. All right. So for my stitches and stencils, back to that, I feel like I'm flip-flopping like pancakes. I decided to outline the pieces that I had. So that way I knew where my stenciling was going to go. And I brought in that gorgeous sangria again from Close to My Heart, you guys. Beautiful color for this collection. Oh my gosh. So I brought that back in, and then I brought back the Distress Oxide in brushed corduroy. I felt like that was the perfect yellow color to bring in for that like dirty paper or old paper that is seen on inside some clusters and whatnot. It's seen in the embellishments. Then I'm going to add my pieces back, and my background is almost done. The hardest part now is deciding where are my photos going to go. So for the stitching, no, I did the stenciling. For the stitching, I decided I wanted to stitch a grid between my photos. So in between all my photos, I'm going to just stitch a line going down and a line going across. Down and across to make a grid within my photos. However, now I have to decide how far apart do I want my photos, where do I want my photos, and where do I want my embellishments. Now I knew I wanted my embellishments to be incorporated within my photos somehow. I had a spot on my layout where I absolutely positively had to cover it up. It was driving me nuts. It's where one of the stencils shifted. I'm not telling you where, because then you'll be like me and fixate on it, and we're not doing that. But I wanted to cover it up for sure. So one of the embellishments has to stay right where it's at. But now it throws off my grid pattern. Like I now have this wonky grid pattern, and does it work, and blah, 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 right? How is that going to work? Well, I don't want my embellishments like this. I don't want them straight across from each other. That's not happening. I really liked them at a diagonal, and the photos brought down some, so I'm okay with that. I will leave it there. I chose that one photo to tuck in behind the butterfly because somehow my finger ended up in the camera. I don't know how that happened, but it's there. And the butterfly covers it up beautifully. That was my fingers sharing with you guys how I'm going to do my grid stenciling. And magic of camera, I went and did my, not stenciling. It's not stenciling. I already did the stenciling. But now I've done the stitching. I really do like how the stitching just blends right in with the rest of my layout. I love that. It looks like my stenciling is stitching as well. And so I really like it, you guys. Adding a hummingbird because all of my layouts have a flying animal on them, whether it's an insect or a bird. So I really do like that continuity throughout. And then last but not least, I'm going to take all of these flowers, scuff up the edges to give them a little bit of dimension so they're not just flat stickers, and I'm going to scatter them throughout like they fell from the sky type of thing, right? So like they're blossoms falling from a tree and whatnot. Some of them I do have to cut out and around the white border. Not all of them, just some of them. But it was weird because the smaller ones didn't feel like they had that big white border, but the bigger ones felt like the border was bigger. It just was weird. But this is the last thing that I am going to do for this layout. I love how I finally got all of my embellishments to come together. And then I did have to merge two embellishments into one to get it all to fit on my layout. So here is the close-ups. There is my stitching in the middle. I absolutely loved it. When I first started stitching it, though, I have to tell you that I ran out of a bobbin and I almost forgot how to refill a bobbin, you guys. That it's been that long since I've needed to. So I quickly reminded myself, and it was interesting. Scared me at first, not gonna lie. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really truly appreciate it. Please check out all the links that I have down below, you guys. I've got a ton of links for everyone that is playing along with Scraps to Embellishments. There's also a playlist link down below if you guys want to go and check out the playlist, because we are doing this all year long. We also have Sandy's channel, who is State Goddess, here on YouTube. There's Facebook group links down below to go check out. Don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel, who is Galaxy Girl Creations. Yeah, it's a lot to go and check out. Lots of inspiration as well out there, you guys. All right. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really, really, truly appreciate it. And I will check you guys all later tomorrow to see what I've got up my sleeve. See ya.